Yo, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on, my fellow people? Hey, let's talk cameras, right? So, we got the Sony FX5 coming out tomorrow. Supposedly, hopefully, if the leaks is right, they said everything should be going good. According to Andre Panini, he said everything should be going good with the release, because Sony haven't released anything on their website or haven't had any launch like they normally do. But man, I was thinking, like, on my predictions, I was right. I was right about the 16 megapixels, right? What that camera need to have, I said between 16 and 24, so I knew it was going to be low, somewhere around there. And man, the triple base ISO, that right there, I did not know. But I also was saying in my last video, I was like, yo, Sony got to give us internal. They got to give us internal space. They have to. Internal recording, 16-bit recording RAW, it's not bad at all. What's going to be good about this camera is that the XOCN, that's going to be a good caveat in the triple base ISO. That right there is going to make your image look like movies for sure. Like, you're going to be able to match, the Venices, the Muranos, the FX6, FX3, all simultaneously in one good, glamorous color grade, everything. Like I said, I think this camera is going to kill a lot of cameras in dynamic range. To me personally, I think this will be the first camera that you'll see with a triple base ISO from Sony, to my knowledge. I don't know if there's any other cameras like besides a lower, smaller camera, compact camera like this. But yeah, it's gonna have that triple base ISO, and that's gonna work like an ND. That's gonna work like your NDs. Like, people complain about the NDs being in the FX5. Your triple base ISO, once you throw probably one ND on there, if that right there is gonna solve all your issues from like lighting. Like, the triple base ISO from 800 to 4,000 to 12,800, like, you're gonna get 12,000 and some change. It's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? So the shots gonna be shotting. You're gonna get the beautiful, and then you throw it in the X, you throw it in those other Kodaks. I think those other Kodaks is gonna look crazy. It's gonna look good, and then it's gonna look like a baby. Everybody say baby Venice, but I think it's like a baby Murano. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I hope the price stay around, roughly like, that 4,800. Like I said, my prediction was the price was 4,800 for this camera. I wasn't too far off. I wasn't too far off. I thought the price would have been, there's people saying 5,000. My price in my head was 4,800. Taxes and everything is gonna be about 5,000. Or it could have been like 46, taxes and everything about 4,800, somewhere around there. So it's crazy to me that the price is not bad. But I feel like if they could come around like that 48, that'd be perfect. But they are giving people a lot with the camera, with and we're gonna have to see. And it's a 16 megapixel, so it's like a couple, a little bump up from the 12 or the FX3. And I think it's gonna be creamy. I think it's gonna be like not sharp, but just still soft. Like I said, nice soft image, gonna make everything look cinematic. So it's gonna look even crazier than a lot of the other cameras that it's got. So I think out the gate, as soon as you cut that bad boy on, it's gonna be looking clean. It's gonna look I think the FX5 is going to be clean. I think that's going to be the standard for now. Check this out. Can we have the ZVE1 Mark II out of that? Can we get the ZVE Mark II out of that camera? I'm just thinking, like, once they release this camera and this sensor, what else can we squeeze from it? Like, can we see the same sensor in the FX7, like how they did with the Sony A7S3? They could do an S4 and throw that same sensor in there and be like, okay, listen, think about it, y'all. They didn't give us no photography mode in this camera. There's no photography mode in this camera. So since there's no photography mode in this camera, that leads to me to think, okay, they could obviously come out with a A7 body, and that A7 body would be the Sony A7S Mark IV, right? Not 3, Mark IV, with the same sensor from the FX5. Make that the photography / video camera right there. So now all those people that want that photography, they just gonna take the sensor from the FX5 and the features from the FX5 damn near and put it on the Alpha series. They could put it in the Alpha series. Now you got your A7S4. Then now you got the FX5 already coming out. Then now they can give us the ultimate vlogging, a premium vlogging setup like the ZVE1 Mark II, right? And they can just go ahead and trickle that sensor down into that body and make that a little bit more beefier, right? And give it like, you know, a semi vlogging cinema FX, you know, like a baby FX line on that. Like the ZVE1 is basically like the FX3 baby brother, but if they tailor it a little bit more to the cinema side a little bit, that could go crazy. So now you could take that same stack sensor. Now the price of that gonna jump up if they do that. The price of that is gonna jump up, right, to let's say they come out with a Sony A7S4, that's gonna be like a $4,000 camera. That would be your $4,600 camera. Then you turn around because the Sony A7 was it R5? I could be wrong. R6. That one is already like a 44 in price. So they come out with an A7S4, that would be about the same, but a little bit more, because it's a video. It's also a video-centric camera, but it'd be it still be a photo camera at the same time with the same sensor as the FX5. So could Sony do that? You already got the A7 V out for the basic model, right? Then you got the R series out for the R7 is out, Mark 6 out. Then now all you left is with, now you got the FX5 out. All you left with now is the actual A7S4 and the ZVE line, the ZVE Mark II. That would be a trickle down of that. So can we possibly see that same sensor trickle down to that in a higher format? New batteries on all the systems. Going to be new batteries. They're going to put new batteries in all the systems, just like Sony did before it. The shit haven't changed. Like this, the model of what Sony's been doing, trickling down the sensors, that's not going to change. They're going to take the FX out of the FX5, the R line, and the 33 megapixel from the A7 V. That's all coming out of there, and they're going to trickle down to all the other cameras for the next future, 10 plus year cameras. So that's my opinion. But the Sony FX5 is going to be something crazy. Yeah, the Sony FX5 is going to be nice. It's going to be a nice ass camera, bruh. And I think if you want to get into cinematography, that's going to be a good start. Until they come out with like a trickle effect with the sensors. They come out with a trickle effect with the sensors. I think then we're gonna start seeing results. But right now we're seeing the high end stuff. But the Sony FX7 is gonna come out crazy. I know they're gonna come out with FX7. I already predicted that too. I said they're not gonna come out with a FX6 Mark II. They're gonna come out with an FX7. And the FX6 is gonna be where it's at. And I don't think they're gonna change any pricing. I don't think they're gonna change any pricing from the FX3. That will allow them to keep the price at FX3. That allow them to keep the price at all the cameras that never went down. They will never come down, because those going to be on a different standard now. To now, if they made this, now that they made these new lines, right? They made these new lines, like they didn't give us a predecessor of the FX3. They just gave us just another camera. So that gives them space to like, okay, we can keep the price for the FX3 right where it's at. They don't need to come down on that. People that want the FX5 ain't gonna get the FX5. They just gonna run to the FX3s and get all the they gonna get all the FX3s. That's what's gonna happen. They gonna get all the FX3s. All the used ones, all the FX3s going on shelves. Everybody that got their FX3s and they sick and tired of the FX3s and they want more, they're going to get an FX5. They're going to get an FX5. So the FX3 is going to stay where it's at. The only time you're going to get you a cheap FX3 is going to be used. If you want a new one, they got the FX3A. And that's a refined FX3, right? So they keeping that price where it's at. I don't think they're going to change it. That just give us, now that they have this new FX5 and price that where it's at, they can charge that like, man, we don't need to come down on the price of the FX3. And it already been solidified because of them made movies with it. So, and Netflix approved it. So it's like, there's no need to come down on the price on that camera. Sony would never chop that price down. The only way it's going to chop down, unless you buy used from another high cinematographer that use that camera, or they're gonna get rid of them to go to the FX5. So that's my opinion. And hey man, tell me y'all thoughts, man. What y'all think is gonna happen? It's gonna be great. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your guy Vaughn, and we out. Deuces.